welcome to or back to Growth Rising. I'm Bird, and on this channel, we just talk about things dealing with astrology. We've been talking about the Mercury placements, and we have finally made it to the last placement. So today we'll be talking about Mercury in Pisces. And if you have this placement, you will most likely be an Aquarius, Pisces, or Aries sun, because Mercury always travels close to the sun. And Mercury deals with communication, thinking, writing, reading, that type of stuff. And also, excuse me, if you want to find where your specific Mercury placement is in your birth chart, you can go to Google and type in free birth chart calculator. Go to astroseek.com, astrocafe.com. There's a lot of different places where you can go. And so what you'll do whenever you get to the website, you'll need to know your place of birth, your birthday, and your time of birth so that you can get, your specific birth chart. And the time of birth is important because that will let you know even which house Mercury is in for you, because our rising sign changes every about 2 hours. But yeah, so if you have your Mercury in Pisces, for one, we already have seen that Mercury in a water sign gets very deep, extremely deep, and Pisces is definitely no different. So if you have Mercury in Pisces, for one, you can have very great intuition. Do not skip out on listening to it. Whenever you feel like your intuition is telling you something, listen, because Pisces is already so connected to the spiritual realm, and then your Mercury is there with the way that you think, the way that you communicate, the way that you speak, all of that. Make sure to use that for your good. But also, if you have your Mercury in Pisces, you also want to pay attention to Neptune and Jupiter in your chart, because Jupiter is the traditional ruler of Pisces and Neptune is the modern day ruler. And if they're in signs that they, like to be in, your Mercury will be able to express itself better, even though Mercury is not crazy about being in Pisces, because Mercury likes to deal with logic and Pisces does not. Mercury is not crazy about it because it's like Pisces is more likely to reject reality and focus on the fantasy, and Mercury is more like let's look at the hard facts. And Pisces is like, no, we're gonna go off the way I feel right now, which, like I was saying, Pisces is a very spiritual sign, very connected to the spiritual realm. And if you have this placement, you can be very creative and have a very vivid imagination, to the point where you can get lost in your imagination. Pisces is already like a dreamy sign. So just think about having Mercury in there. You can definitely daydream on a regular basis. It could be like your drug or something. And Pisces Neptune already deals with addictions and all. But let's get on back to the video. You can find inspiration anywhere that you go because you're always open to it. It's something that you're not going to just close yourself off to. You love to fantasize, most likely, escape reality and go into your dream world. And, your logic will build on your intuition. Like if you have like the strong intuitive feeling about something, that's what your logic builds on. It's not so much of like how an earth sign may be more focused on, let's get A, B, C, D. Like, let's get our ducks in a row. This is what, the facts that we have in front of us. You will be more like, this is the way that this made me feel. So we're going to go based off that. And, like I was saying earlier, if you pay attention to that, listen to your intuition, it'll be beneficial for you, especially with your Mercury placement there. And also, you can also, excuse me, your mind will be connected to your subconscious. It's not, so much as conscious and subconscious. They kind of merge together, because for you it's not as easy to separate the two, if that's the best way to put it. But yeah, so you know how people might think of stuff in their subconscious mind, and they might not realize that they are thinking of it. For you, it's not necessarily like that, because your subconscious mind is connected to your conscious mind, which is one reason why you can, like fantasize so easily. And also, you can have like very great visions of stuff that you want to do, but make sure you put in the work, because with your Mercury in Pisces, you can have the vision, but you won't necessarily have the actions for it. And Mercury likes to make plans. Mercury likes to have some kind of order. Pisces does not. Pisces more go with the flow. And also, Pisces Mercury is not necessarily big on being practical. It's more about, like I was saying, the way that you feel, the way that your intuition is speaking to you. It's not about being practical or logical or realistic. It's about the unseen, basically, not about the hard facts. You can also struggle with communicating with others, because sometimes you have very deep emotions, and it could take you a while to even express those emotions because they're so deep. And so you may not be necessarily the best communicator, and also Mercury is not as comfortable in the sign, but Mercury is still going to do what Mercury has to do, whether Mercury is comfortable or not. It's still going to press forward, but it's just going to have a couple of more hurdles to jump over. You can feel misunderstood a lot, because it's like people just don't get you, and it's not that y'all are always missing each other. It's just that y'all are kind of in two different realities. Yours can be more of a fantasy world, and like, let's say if they're Mercury and Capricorn, that would be more logical. So that can just be one way of how you can feel misunderstood by others, or the way that you may have visions and you have all of these great ideas and you're so creative. Everybody may not understand, and that's okay, because everything is not for everybody else to understand. You can also take time with asking people questions. You want to make sure that you're going to ask it the way that you think that the other person will be able to understand it, because you already have felt misunderstood. You don't want to come off as feeling misunderstood again. And excuse me, you can also need your alone time, because you can pick up on others' energy. Like, you can feel what other people feel. You can tap into that. So you are going to need your alone time to make sure you can just be yourself and just feel what you got to feel for you. And also, if you do have this Mercury placement in Pisces, you could possibly be somebody who's very if I can talk, manipulative. So do make sure you use what you use for good and not bad. And also, you could be a bit anxious with this Mercury placement. But yeah, so that in itself is Mercury and Pisces. And if you have this placement, let me know what you resonated with, and if there's anything you think I left out. But have a good one.